Loads of guests on Wogan this Monday, including Harry Enfield and Shirley Maclaine. Then Watchdog investigates the complaints department of Britain's largest electrical retailer.
And with more than 300,000 buying customers every week, it's hardly surprising that from time to time, things go wrong.
That's Watchdog. Then at 8, watch these. A laugh at 8:30. Just keeping up appearances. After the news, Panorama. On the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, David Dimbleby chairs a debate with East Europeans about the problems and price of freedom from the very room where the Allies met at the end of the Second World War. Hard on the heels at 10:30, Mancuso, FBI.
Okay. You just put yourself in a world of trouble, mister.
The rest trouble-free. BBC1, Monday.
Welcome on the Feast of Guy Fawkes. Have you noticed that even bonfire night has been affected by the winds of political change? No, we haven't, Terry. Tell us more. Well, this morning, when I arrived here, before I'd even taken my bicycle clips off, a small boy approached me and he said, "An EQ for the guy, Terry." You all know what an EQ is. Well, it's everyone in Europe using the same note. It's a sort of financial version of the Eurovision Song Contest. Pyrotechnics aplenty tonight. In a moment, we'll light the blue touch paper to the explosive Shirley Maclaine. But first, a young man who a few years ago was at university studying politics, and then he decided to dedicate his life to comedy. No, it was not Paddy Ashdown, but the man who created Stavros, went on to make loads of money, and who burst like a rocket onto BBC screens this week with a brand new series.
What's that for?
My birthday.
What about your birthday?
You forgot it.
I never. When is it?
Yesterday.
I never forgot it.
Well, you never got me a present.
I did.
Well, why didn't you give it to me then?
'Cause I forgot, didn't I, you daft boot?
Well, where is it then?
Outside. So, Charlie tells me you're a war correspondent.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. No, obviously not at the moment, 'cause you're here. Yeah.
I've just been in the Gulf.
Really? Gosh. Wow. Why?
Welcome, Harry Enfield. They're very glad to have you back.
Thank you,
You're
Terry.
welcome
It's
back.
delightful to see you again now.
Yeah, you
haven't
too.
put on too much weight since I last saw you.
Don't start the whole thing
no.
off on the wrong foot, you know. Now, these characters in this new series, are they based on your imagination or are they based on observation?
Well, a sort of bit of both, really. I mean, most of them are sort of based on people that we've seen, sort of around the place. I mean, there's one called Mr. Don't Want to Do That, who's he's based on a neighbour we used to have when I was a kid. You'd always hear him outside going, "Eve, don't tread on the borders, you don't want to do that." And he's sort of, he's a sort of father-in-law figure who basically comes along and says, "You don't want to do that, you don't want to wear the toque. Hey, when it's at home, what do you want to wear that for, eh? You don't want to have a tie like that. Anyway, you don't want to watch Wogan, you want to watch Jonathan Ross on the other side. Very good, He just sort of spends his whole time...
He's an idiot, obviously, yeah.
He's a bit of a pesky chap.
Yes.
You know, but... quite
You
fun.
think that catchphrase will catch on?
You don't want to do that? I don't know. I hope it's caught on with the crew already. They sort of go around, you know, saying, instead of saying, oh, that wall's the wrong colour, they say, you don't want to paint it green, you want to paint it blue when it's home, eh? So they're already sort of doing it, but whether it'll catch on at home remains to be seen.
Yeah. Was it the...
Sir Terence.
all that loads of money stuff and everything? Did those catchphrases kind of tick you off after a while? Did you get fed up with them?
Well, yeah, I mean, I stopped doing Loads of Money really because he was very one-dimensional. He was just horrible and horrible to everyone.
I kind of think...
everything.
I think you finished him too soon. I think you could have got lots more out of Loads of Money.
Well, we did a tour at the end of the year, and we wrote sort of 25 minutes of new material for the tour, and only about half of it worked, really. And we just sort of run out of things for him to say, because he's so one-dimensional, and he's always just horrible about everything, and there was just nothing more to sort of go on about, really.
Yeah. When you do go, will the audiences expect to see these characters that you create? Is it you're going to create these characters in television and then take them?
Well, I mean, if this series goes well, we'll probably do another one. I mean, there are about 15, 20 different people, and hopefully, you know, there are enough people for everyone to like someone, sort of thing. I mean, it's a bit like a comic, like Beano or something, you know, you follow people through every week, see what they get up to.
Do you have a favourite yourself?
It's difficult to say, really. I quite like Don't. I'm quite keen on him.
But you don't want to do that?
Yeah, I'm quite keen on him. There's a chap called Little Brother I'm quite keen on, who's sort of pesky little brother who just comes and annoys you. Every time you want to snog your girlfriend, he sort of appears. Hi, what's going on? Bloody hell, what are you doing? And he sort of likes Blackadder and stuff like that, you know. He's quite good. He's got an annoying little twitch. And there's some people called the Double Take Brothers who I think might be popular with kids who just overreact to everything, really, all the time.
Yeah.
They say, thank goodness I'm not on Wogan. Boo! They're sort of completely over the top. Lucky there's no water here. And they're sort of stupid.
Yeah.
I quite like them.
You got a radio on outside, haven't you?
Sorry?
A disc jockey, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a DJ called Dave Dice, mine, rock-a-doodle-doo to you, pop pickers. And he's a sort of, they talk about the news quite a lot and stuff like that, like, I know, Cambodia or something. They say, they're a bunch of loonies out there, aren't they? Pol Pot and everyone. I think they should work for Radio Fab FM, which is who they work for. They're sort of quite fun, him and his mate, Smashy. And then we got some politicians who I play a conservative one called Sir Jack Working Class MP, who's the kind of bloke, if you say to him, you know, what's the time, he'll say, well, that's a very good question, and one that I fully intend to answer. Of course I do. But maybe, sir, whatever the time is, it's a very much better time than it was under the last Labour government. Sort of basically every MP you've ever met.
Does it take a long time? I mean, do you remember Norbert Smith?
I do,
which
yeah.
Which was a great success.
Yeah,
and gave you a chance to act, I suppose, for the film.
Yes, love, yeah.
Yeah,
it was the first time I got the opportunity to sort of do comic acting rather than comic overacting, which is what I've always done, you know. It's, you know, there aren't any, like, kebab owners who go, hello, peeps! You know, like I used to. They just go, hello, everyone, how you doing? You know, it's okay, you stop your bloody monkey biz, and all this stuff. But they don't go like him, so everything I've always done has been over the top, and that was the first thing that took it down. Yeah. But we've sort of got a character out of him. I mean, not him, but just like you said before, where do you get the characters from? Sort of observation. Things like, I mean, that got a sort of very good reception in media circles and things, but a chap stopped me on the street a few weeks ago when we were filming for this series and said, I see you filming around here. I said, thanks. He said, I saw that Norman Smith on telly the other day. What the bloody hell was that all about? It's just about an old actor, wasn't it, or something? What the bloody hell was all that about? I said, I don't know, I haven't a clue, mate, you know. But it sort of struck us off. I told Paul and Charlie, who I write with, about this. And they said, that's quite a good character, you know, he could go around going, I saw that Morgan and Wise on telly the other day. What the bloody hell's all that about? It's just two blokes, like, telling jokes to each other. They're like a bloody double act. What's the point of that, eh? I went in the football yesterday. I couldn't believe it. It was just 11 people kicking a ball about. What the bloody hell's all that about? I don't know, bloody hell. You know, I saw that Wogan on telly the other night. He just sits in a chair asking questions. I mean, what the bloody hell's all that about? he developed.
But
But
just-
specifically from that guy saying that.
Yeah, but
You
it
know, I
just
told
makes
them
me
we
think, I
got
wonder,
sick.
that people, when you portray these characters, that there may be people out there who are not unlike them,
Yeah, there are.
and who may not be aware that you're actually trying to be funny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that happens all the time, you know. People say, what's so funny about, you know,
Yeah.
we're doing a couple of old gits who are just moany old gits, you know. Yeah, moan all them, yeah. You're too bloody young, get your hair cut. Yeah. Sort of them, you know. Always screaming at the Meals on Wheels people and stuff. You know, I don't like that, that's too hot, that's too cold, I won't eat that, and I don't like that. Take it back. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of old people saying, you're so funny about that. I'm exactly like that. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
obviously,
I think
yeah,
most
that's-
families will find you'll strike a responsive chord in most families.
Yeah, with any like little brother,
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of little brothers around. I mean, basically, I had a lot of friends. I didn't have a little brother, but a lot of friends who, when they were into punk, their little brother was into heavy metal, and you know, all the time their little brother liked different things from them, and they would always turn up at the wrong time. You know, they'd come down the pub and say, "Oh, I'm in the pub," and just sort of, you know, look, go away. I'm
You
with my
like him the
mates,
best,
you know.
don't you?
No,
You like doing him the best.
No, he's very hyperactive, and there's lots of words to learn. I don't like learning words. Learning words.
No, learning words can be really tough.
That's quite fun, actually.
Yeah.
Learning words, but learning words is hard.
Yeah. And when does this extravaganza hit the screens, Harry?
Thursday night,
Really?
BBC2, 9 o'clock. Don't miss it. And nobody invade anyone or anything like that in the Gulf, because we don't want everyone watching the 9 o'clock news. We want you to turn over and watch us. And anyway, yeah, then. Yeah, sorry, I'll shut up.
Harry Enfield.
Thank you.
Thanks to Harry. You're right, Harry? Yeah, well, another Harry joins us shortly in the shape of award-winning photographer Harry Benson. And now we're about to meet someone who started dancing at the age of 3, who's been hoofing ever since, pausing between the buck and the wings to make movies like The Matchmaker, The Apartment, Irma la Douce, Sweet Charity, Terms of Endearment, for which she won an Oscar. Her latest film, Postcards from the Edge, arrives in Britain in 2 months. It's about average for a postcard. Meanwhile, she's over here to appear in her own all-singing, all-dancing review, which opens tomorrow night. Please welcome Shirley Maclaine.
He is so funny,
I hate him.
Harry.
I didn't like him, did you, Harry?
I really thought he was charming.
Yeah. He has an elusive charm.
No, it's very obvious.
I thought you might come bucking and winging across.
No, I'm going to save that.
Save the legs.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Are they beginning to give?
No, I don't think so, too.
Well, you've been dancing for years now. You still enjoy?
I
Do you still
enjoy it.
enjoy taking the risks in front of a live audience?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're touring now. And we haven't seen that here for a long time as dancing and singing, have we? From
No.
you.
No,
It's a risk.
it's always a risk. I mean, you walk out and it could be publicly humiliating, but at least you know it right away. It's not like a movie where you don't know you've made a fool out of yourself
That's
till
a
a year
killer.
later.
That must be a killer. When you think I mean, presumably you don't think you've done a bad movie, and then it comes out and it gets slayed.
Yeah, that's hard. And you don't know when you're making it because the camera isn't like real people. And that's why I love the theater, because they tell you the truth.
Do you have to keep very fit for this? Do you have to exercise a lot?
Oh, yeah. I have to exercise. I have to be careful of my sleep. I have to drink a lot of water. I can't really stay up too late.
Why do you have to drink a lot of water?
Water's really important to keep yourself cleansed. Maybe water is the most important thing you can put in your body.
Purging yourself of all impurities. That's what you... I've often thought the Americans...
No.
I was trying to clean that up. I won't bother now, because you've fallen
I think I'll
apart.
have a drink.
Yeah. I was about to go into a very erudite question about colonic irrigation, but I'm not going to bother now.
Let's stick
Yeah,
to the
with
dirty
that.
stuff.
Do you do any meditation? Do you do
Not
the mind.
here.
No, well, not after that. Certainly not. Yeah.
Sure I do. Meditation is really important, you know, especially in this world where things are so chaotic. I do. Meditate every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But this, remember the injury you had? When did you have that?
Let's see, I had the first one in February, and then I went back and danced on it and
Too
really
soon.
then tore my ligament.
Yeah.
And then I had surgery.
There's no scars or anything, I can't see.
No, I know. But there was a camera in there. There's three. A little closer.
So the eyesight's gone. You know.
It's not about sight.
Oh, look.
And I had,
Yeah.
they took a movie of this.
Did
It's the
they?
best picture I've ever been in.
Yeah. It was a tragedy rather than a comedy, was it?
It's sort of like a fantasy. It was like a science fiction.
Yeah.
I saw the film of it. You know, they're
Inside
all
Shirley Maclaine's knee. It's terrific. A great title for a movie. Yeah. I had that, you know. I don't talk about it, though. I had a very sore knee for a long time.
It's more than sore, though.
Oh.
It's real pain, isn't it?
Well, I don't think my...
It's a real pain in the knee.
Yeah, yeah. My editor doesn't want me to talk about it. I tried to tell him during this afternoon about my knee and how it was. And he said, let's skip that. Let's just
So here
get
you
on
are
with the
doing
show. Yes, yeah. It's just my way of getting back.
But there's nothing like an injury to put you in touch with humility.
With your feelings.
Yeah, right.
What about the show? Is it just dancing, or what have you got in it?
No, it's dancing and singing, and it's the stuff I was trained to do. I'm going back to my roots every time I go on the stage.
Topical stuff and everything?
Oh, yes. I love to make my comedic observations about London and England and the different people here, and I do drama and the big dramatic song. It's quite an interesting show. It's a good full evening. I do nearly 2 hours.
Who do you comment on here?
Oh, I'll do some comments on Maggie and on some of the royals and on, I mean, all these people she sacked.
That could take a long time. It's a long act. Yeah.
I see why you have so much unemployment.
But you're at an interesting age for an actress.
Harry popped his knee.
Television critics are after us. Now, just the fireworks going off in Shepherd's Bush Green. But you're at an age which is interesting from the acting point of view as well,
That's a good way
isn't
to put it. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm being nice. Yeah. You're at an interesting age.
I'm at a very interesting age, which requires a lot of adjustment.
I know. Yeah.
But it's the best time of my life. Of course, you can choose to look at it as the best time of your life or the worst time
Depends
of
on
your
you.
life. Yeah, it depends on how you...
But you have had over the last few years some probably the best roles of your life, haven't you?
And I'm very happy with everything. I really love the idea that I'm this age and can still do wonderful, epic parts and not have to worry about how I look or any of that kind of
And you can
vanity
still
stuff.
dance. Yeah.
And, you know, with my injury, I even came to the point where I can see at a time where I'll give up the dancing and I'll come on and I'll do a show in a black dress with a stool and one spotlight and a little combo, and I'll sit there and do dramatic songs and make comments and maybe do a scene or two and then dance a little bit. I can see that in my future, and instead of all this stuff that I'm doing now, which I love, but how long can you keep on doing it? You know?
This new movie that you've made, Postcards from the Edge, with Meryl Streep. Yeah. How did you like working with her?
She's a genius.
That's tough, though, isn't it? You don't want to work with too many geniuses.
Oh, I like that. The better someone is, the more I want to work with them. You're as good as the person you're with.
She, I think, spoke very well of working with you.
We had a wonderful time together.
It's based on the book written by Carrie Fisher, the daughter of Debbie Reynolds, and about their relationship together. And well, loosely based. It doesn't portray the mother in all that good a light.
Well, she's a character, and she's very strong and straight and honest and eccentric. But she's also really loving and very strong in the way she's going to express her love.
Debbie Reynolds is a friend of yours, and when she saw the film, did she say anything to you?
She liked it. She got some champagne and small sandwiches and wanted to do this alone with Carrie, I believe, and she did like it.
Let's have a little
Oh, have you got a
smidgen. We have everything here.
Hi, Mama.
Am I too late for the family thing?
Yeah.
But it's okay. I did not want to miss that. How did it go? What's the matter with your hair?
I don't know. It's all the rage in the
Excuse me,
rehab.
Suzanne, but can I meet your mother?
Sure, Bart. This is my
Oh,
mom.
Miss Mann, I can't believe I'm meeting you. Ever since I was about 7, I wanted to be you.
Bart does you in his drag show.
This is my lover, Alan.
Oh, hello, Alan.
Hi.
Well, for good. What number do you do?
Whistling Pines. I wear a costume that's almost exactly like the one you wore in the opening number of that marvelous Mrs. Markham.
Oh, the one with the corset? Oh, that
Mom.
was so difficult to
Mom.
wear.
Sorry, boys.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya. Dear, sorry, but you know how much the Queens love me.
You have a daughter who's an actress too. Did you identify at all with that?
Well,
Not for a moment saying you're that kind of mother, but...
No, I mean, the Queens love me too, but it's not the same thing. My daughter was never a drug addict and never an alcoholic like Carrie went through. So I didn't have that kind of identification. But it's really fun to get to play a mother movie star, because I've been a mother and a movie star a long time. So I was able to use some of my experience. And you can throw it away when you've had that kind of experience. You can make the comedy less forced, and then it's more real.
Yeah. Do the legs run in the family?
Yeah, they do, actually. My brother has good legs, nice long legs. My mom, my dad.
Do you get fed up being asked questions about your brother?
Very few people ask me questions about my brother.
Well, I won't then. For the moment, Shirley Maclaine, who's joined us. Shirley's staying with us, and I hope we'll continue to talk. And now, take a look at some of these. This is Ron and Nancy, Fred Astaire, the Beatles, Sammy Davis Jr., Barbara Bush, all taken by my next guest. He's now put these and more together in a book called Harry Benson's People. Welcome, Harry Benson. Have you ever taken a picture of Shirley?
Yes, I did once.
When was that?
But it wasn't my finest hour.
Oh.
It was in Malibu on a wet Saturday afternoon.
How many centuries ago?
2, maybe. It was after Terms of Endearment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was just pouring down.
And did we shoot in the rain?
We did. I photographed you at the window.
I remember that. I remember.
For People magazine.
For People.
That's right.
As I was only focusing on the reporter I had the interview with afterward, who wasn't that nice.
He was. I was all right.
You were darling. You had wonderful, wonderful talent.
Oh, thank you very much. So have you. I've been a fan of yours for years.
Anyway.
Have you met Ted?
Anyway, Harry, do you like photographing stars?
Well,
Personalities?
I don't look on them as stars, but it's for history. It's for the... I see it as the, you know, for the archives, for the... I want to make it...
Do you do what they want?
Yes.
No, I don't. No. I want to take a photograph that everyone will look at. People will look at it.
Yeah.
And so they'll come out happy, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, do you
Does that
let
make
them?
sense?
Yeah, yes, of course it does, because you want to try to get the atmosphere. Do you let them get close to you? Do you let your subjects get close to you?
No, I don't. If I'm photographing somebody and it's going well and they do something, the last thing I want is for them to ask me for dinner, because...
Jack Nicholson asked you for dinner.
Well, then I know that they could be asking for, oh, Harry, that picture of me doing such and such, do me a favor, you know, don't use it. You know, and then it's hard.
I think Jack would just be hungry and want to eat.
Well, I'll show you a picture afterwards.
Did you change it after you had dinner with him?
No, I never went. I wouldn't have dinner with them. I don't like to, because, you know, I'm under no illusions of who I am. I'm a photographer, and it's who I represent. People magazine or Life magazine or Vanity Fair.
You're the
You know what I mean?
anti-photographer, isn't he? You're not into show business at all, really, in that sense. So you're not attempting to be a kind of showbiz figure yourself.
Well, I make my living from an awful lot from these people, and I like some of them, really I do. And
Well, if you got to know someone really more closely, you would know better how to photograph them, wouldn't you?
not really. I don't think people are well served by a photographer that knows you well. I think he becomes too protective of you. I think it's better with somebody that I want Shirley to do this. I want Jack to do that.
But I would feel more comfortable doing what you wanted if we had did a meal.
Maybe you'd be more comfortable, but I'd be more comfortable not doing it. That's right. And then I could move on you and do things. Do you know?
Well, I was going to ask all three of us out for dinner, but I'm not going to bother. No, I'd be going 3 different places. Yeah. Harry, this new book, it's fascinating to hear a photographer talk of these times, because normally you get the other way. Other photographers work along that, or most photographers work on trying to establish a relationship, don't they? However short-lived.
It's a short-lived. I mean, time isn't everything to me. It's the only thing. I've got to be quick. If you're with the President of the United States, you know, he doesn't want to hear a lot of chit-chat from me. Do you know, it's got to be...
Yeah, if you're working in the studio...
I want you to dance, you do this, and they know they're professional.
Yeah. If you're working in the studio, though, Harry... Yeah, if you're working in the studio, I mean, do you work quickly in the studio?
Very quick. Speed is everything. Fast.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because people, you can see their eyes having, you know, lobotomy, you know, sitting in and watching, you know...
But some of the really deep forged relationships have been between performers and photographers that a performer trusts.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I look at Karshav Ottawa and some of his pictures look as if they're made of wood. Do you know, the guy's been sitting there for about, 3 hours. You know.
Well, they should have had dinner.
Is it because, Harry, you started as a photojournalist? Is that what...
Oh, absolutely. I think because I come from the Fleet Street, or that you are basically, you are on the other side. Do you know what I mean? And mind you, my photographs, I don't think they're cheap shots. I think the people come out very well. That's fine. As long as my magazine and I come out well, I'm fine. Then that's...
How would you take a photo? What would you do to take a photograph of Shirley and me?
Well, she's the greatest dancer in the world.
Oh,
I could...
Harry, I'm
not. No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I could take a perfectly nice picture of both of you sitting here together. It'd be perfect. But I wouldn't do that. I would say, Shirley, you've got to... I would like you to dance. And I would have you dancing with Mr. Wogan, with Terry. It would be... They would have... And I think they should. I think they would do that.
I'd rather eat.
That's great. That's terrific. Did you hear that?
You really want me to dance?
We do it.
Some legs, don't the ligaments.
Mind the ligaments. Not my ligaments.
Okay.
She said she'd rather eat.
Let's go to dance. Let's see if we can do that. You can turn me over. I'll just go down.
That's good.
Don't let me go, please. Don't let me go. It's the end of my career.
That's good. Right back there, Shirley. Right back. Hold it there now. That's good. That's right.
Bring me some food.
Do it down a bit lower, Terry. That's right. That's good. Now that's nice. That's right. That's very good.
What a pair.
Carry on, please.
Now get this there.
Thanks to Harry, and Shirley. Join me again on Wednesday, when I'll be joined by Bobby Blue Velvet Benson,
That's right.
Annika Rice.
That's right.
I'll be going live by satellite to the real Twin Peaks.
Head up to that.